everyone. Just kind of wanted to do an update and then a story time. I'm sorry I haven't been posting regularly. I know I hadn't scheduled anything, told you guys anything about my schedule, but I did want to try and set a schedule. Then a lot of stuff happened. I was in and out of the emergency room. Then I was trying to catch up on schoolwork. And then I've just been very busy with work. I got put in a new room at the daycare, and we're still trying to set up boundaries and stuff there. So, just been very spread thin. So I haven't been able to talk to you guys and make a lot of videos. And I'm sorry about that. But today I wanted to go ahead and talk about story time. I wanted to do a video telling you guys about how Justin and I met and how we ended up together and just that story. So we'll get into that. So, where do I start? Justin and I were friends. We met at middle college. He became my best friend very quickly. Very quickly. And at the time, I was dating somebody else who I had been with for 3 years. So, I never thought the two of us would end up together. And I liked him as a friend. I didn't have any other feelings for him at the time when we first met in the first year of us being friends. And then, let's see, I don't remember, but I remember that I and my other boyfriend ended up breaking up, and I was devastated, and I remember Justin being there the entire time, being my best friend, trying to just make me feel better and lift up my spirits. And let's see. After that, he ended up asking me to prom our junior year because I'd just gotten dumped. I didn't want to go, and it's something I had been talking about. It's something I'd been talking about all year, wanting to go to. I was so excited about it. And I was telling him I wasn't going to go. I didn't feel up to going. And then he said, "You're going to go because you're going to go with me." And then I also remember I gave the ticket money I had for my ticket for prom to one of my friends because she wasn't going to be able to go. And she was supposed to pay for my ticket once she got her money back. I don't remember how that was supposed to work out. But I do remember her saying, "Oh, well, I don't have the money," on the last day of ticket purchases. So, again, I was devastated. I got my hopes up. I was excited to go to prom. And, of course, Justin, I go to him crying and telling him what happened. And he said, "No, you're going." And we got in the car and we went to the bank, and he pulled out, was it the last of your money that you had? Yeah, it was about the last of his money he had in his bank account. And he pulled it out and paid for my ticket to go to prom. So, he's always been there for me. He's always been my lifesaver. It's easier for me to realize now how much he meant to me back then, now that we're together. Of course. But then we ended up going to prom, and of course he went and hung out with his friends, and I was with my girlfriends. And just, we were two different people there. We went together, and he drove me and his friends, but when we got there, we got separated. And that was the night I kind of realized I had feelings for him. So I told one of my friends from that time period, she was my best friend, I told her that I had feelings for him, that I liked him. And of course, when the next slow song came on, she pulled him onto the dance floor and made him dance with me. And as soon as the song was over, I remember him darting off. Not even a word, just darting off. So I kind of went back to my friend and was like, "I don't know what just happened, blah, blah, blah." So that was kind of the end of that night. I ended up going home because I went with my friend and we went to my house and she stayed the night. And then on the last day of school, the last day I was supposed to see him, they were selling the little grams or whatever that came with candy. And I bought one and wrote a note on it saying just that I liked him, that I didn't want to ruin our relationship as friends if we did end up trying something, and that I was happy I got to know him. Well, when he got the note, he was excited because he had feelings for me. But with me, I guess I didn't make it clear enough that I wanted to date him. So he didn't try anything. We didn't really talk. And then summer came, and we talked a little bit here and there. I remember sending him messages, and he never responded. And then when we came back to school the next year for our senior year, I remember coming up to him on one of the first days and was like, "Why didn't you talk to me all summer? I was texting you. I was trying to talk to you." He was like, "I wasn't getting any of your text messages." Well, his phone had been messing up. He had to get a new phone. All sorts of issues there. And then also during the summer, I remember we did have, or at the beginning of our senior year, we did have a conversation about how my relationship had been and how he'd never been in a relationship. Is it okay that I'm talking about this? That he'd never kissed anybody, and I remember going, "That is the sweetest thing I have ever heard." And he was like, "I know, it's dorky, blah, blah, blah," and I had to tell him, like, "No, it's not. It's really nice and super sweet." So from there on, I kind of had a little bit more of a crush on him. And then my birthday came around in November, and I remember they threw a surprise party for me, and before I got to the surprise party, I was at an event for school, and I was all dressed up, and then my dad called me and said, "You have to come get me on the other side of town," because I think he blew a tire or something. I don't remember what happened, but I remember I still had to take somebody home. I went up to my principal and I was like, "I gotta go. My dad just called me. I've gotta go pick him up and help him." So I went and picked him up from the gas station, took him to our house. He picked up tools, took him back to the gas station, and then I had my friend with me because I had to take him home. So after that, I took him home on another side of town, and then where everybody else was for the party, for my birthday party, they were on the same side of town where the original event was. So I remember I drove all the way around town. I hadn't eaten. I got pulled over for a headlight being out, and I had to go to the bathroom so bad that by the time I actually got to the party, I was so upset and so cranky. And of course, I'm knocking on the door about to pee all over myself. And everybody's taking so long to get to the door. Well, they finally opened the door. I hug a couple of people and I'm like, "I've got to go to the bathroom." And like dropped all my stuff at the door and ran to the bathroom. So of course, when I came out, I like hugged everybody. I was like, "I'm sorry about that. It's not been a good day or been a good afternoon, whatever." And so then I remember they surprised me with a birthday cake. And of course, it was Captain America, who is my favorite superhero. Justin had made spaghetti and left out special spaghetti for me with no meat in it. So I got to eat, I got cake, and then I got to open presents, and we played some Disney games. And then Justin had an accident with a mailbox. We'll talk about that a different time. And we had to make an emergency trip to Walmart at 1 o'clock in the morning. Of course, I had to be at work the next day at 12. So that, on top of everything else that had happened the night, I was just cranky. I was kind of being rude to everybody, which wasn't, it's a flaw in my personality, but I was. And I remember getting one of my friends in a cart and pushing her around. And by the time we actually got to Walmart, I was happy and everybody else was frustrated. So that was just a flip. And then when we finally got back to my friend's house, we all kind of were watching movies, and then everybody went to where they're supposed to be, couches, beds, air mattresses, whatever. And instead of going to one of the bedrooms with Tori, one of my friends, I stayed on the couch to watch a movie. And I was sitting on the couch next to Justin, and we ended up laying down, and I ended up passing out. So we both ended up sleeping on the couch. Well, the next morning, Justin was kissing me on the cheek, and all of a sudden I had this urge to turn my face and kiss him. Go away, fly. And of course, I didn't. I stopped myself from doing it. And then they all went to go take care of the mailbox that got ran over because the cops came knocking on the door to talk to us about it. Very fun. And then I got ready for work, went to work, blah, blah, blah. Well, then that Monday or Tuesday, I think, was my birthday. And the day after, we had the day off of school. And Justin had invited me to go to his house to watch movies, hang out, do whatever. And, of course, I didn't want to sit at home and do nothing the day after my birthday. So I went over there with him. We watched movies. We watched a whole bunch of movies that now mean a lot to us when we watch them together again. And we were just playing around, being our normal selves. Tickling each other, blah, blah, blah. And then I ended up thought about kissing him again. And again, I stopped myself. So the next day, I'm sitting in class. And of course, I was on my cell phone because it was a college class and it was early and I was done with school at this time. I was ready for break. Well, I ended up texting him, pretty much asking him, what are we doing? I almost kissed you the past 2 times we've been together. I know you have feelings for me. I have feelings for you. So why don't we do this? And of course, we ended up getting together that day. And from there, it's just kind of been something different. We've only known each other for almost 4 years now. And we're engaged. We're excited to be married. We live together. And I don't think I could ask for anybody else in my life that would take care of me as much as he does. And I'm very thankful that I had the nerve to ask him out because he never would have asked me out. And so that's kind of just how we met, how we got together. And of course, there's so many other stories we could tell and branch off from that. That was 2 years ago now. So we're excited to move on, and soon enough we'll be married and together forever. So that's all I really had to say. Thanks for listening. I know that was mushy-gushy. So thanks, guys. See you later.